I'm back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about my 2020 NBA Redraft. We had a lot of great players in the 2020 draft, and I'll be looking at the top 5 players in the 2020 NBA Draft. This list will showcase the order of the draft, having considered how their careers have gone so far. This list may have some choices that you don't agree with, and that is fine. That is what makes these lists engaging. So let's get started. With my first pick, I would select Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was selected as the number 1 pick in the 2020 draft, and I believe he holds his position. He has personally continued to grow in his time in Minnesota, and he averaged over his 3 years, nearly 3 years, he's averaged 21.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. And these stats are very good stats for a young player. It shows us that Edwards can put the ball in the basket consistently, and he's also a threat on the defensive end. So what's the room for improvement for Anthony Edwards? For me, Edwards there are still areas of his game that he has to improve, or that he can improve on. But he's a player that I know works hard in the off-season to improve these areas of his game. But the area that stands out to me that needs improvement is him assisting to his teammates. He is averaging across his career 3.7 assists, and although this isn't bad, it doesn't say to his opposition that he's a real threat to locate his teammates for easy points. This makes his game a little bit more predictable and stops him from reaching the upper 20s when it comes to points, as his opposition will likely double team him, and if he's unable to locate other players for a quick assist or passes, he will unlikely be able to see mismatches across his team, across the floor, and that will just hinder him from going from a good player to an excellent player. And that's what we want to see from Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has a lot of untapped potential that he has yet to fulfill. He's a 3-level scorer who has begun to make noise in the league. Once he masters the ability to be efficient while scoring, it will allow him to push to the next level. The two areas that could allow Edwards to meet his potentials are his passing and efficiency. If these two areas improve, Edwards could see himself as an all-star in the near future. Well, he has become an all-star. So this is all on my website, Basketball Scroll. Check it out. But this was me looking with foresight into what could these improvements do for his career, and we can see that the improvements that he's made already have allowed him to become a way better player, and he is now striving as an all-star. But we want to repeat as an all-star the next season, so if he's able to improve on his passing, we can only see him become even more proficient and better as a player. The next player on my list is LaMelo Ball, who was selected 3rd overall in the 2020 draft, and he has exceeded expectations. From his exciting passes to his spurts of creativity on the basketball court, Ball has been a centerpiece for the Hornets, who have struggled to find consistency. A rising star, LaMelo Ball has set his mark on the NBA scene since joining in 2020. He has since earned himself an all-star selection. In that season, he put up 20.1 points, 7.6 assists, 6.7 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game. Ball was living out his potential, and it was impressive to see. So Ball has been excellent so far in his young career. It's unfortunate that he suffered a few injuries with an ankle injury that has kept him out for the remainder of the season. We wish him a speedy recovery, but we love to see LaMelo Ball on the court. He's a player that excites the crowd. I love his combination of passing, rebounding, scoring, and his ability to dribble at an elite level is something to see. So we just wish him a speedy recovery, and we hope that he comes back even better next season. My next player on the list is Tyrese Haliburton, who was selected with the 12th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. He was selected late considering how well he played in college. The main thing that caught my attention with Haliburton was his uncanny skill of surveying the floor to find his teammates. He had a knack of doing this on a game-to-game basis, and this translated to the NBA. So Haliburton is a passing savant who is able to locate his teammates whenever he wants, and he's also able to score, which is something that you don't normally see with great passers sometimes. But I guess in this, the crop of players that have come up in this generation, you see that they're able to score and pass the ball, which is something that you love to see. This season, Tyrese is averaging 10.3 assists, which is second in the NBA behind James Harden, who is averaging 10.8 assists. His PER is 23.7 for the season. PER is an acronym that stands for Player Efficiency Rating, and this measures how productive a player is. Haliburton's PER suggests that he is productive during his games for the Pacers, and this has also translated into wins for the Pacers. The Pacers are on track to reach the playoffs, which would be something special for the team, and only cements his position in my NBA redraft. My next pick and my fourth pick in my 2020 NBA redraft is Desmond Bane, who was the last pick in the first round of the 2020 draft. He started his career with modest numbers, averaging 9.2 points on 43.2% from the 3-point range, and he has since made the jump to 21.2 points with 41.1 3-point percentage, and that's something that I would love to see in players. He's not only scoring the ball, he's also doing other things on the floor. His attention to detail is something that I admire. The rise in points and efficiency has seen Bane become a threat from all over the court. Bane not only scores the ball, but this season he has put forth 5 rebounds and 4.1 assists. This suggests to me that Bane has been watching in-game film and has been capitalizing on the space created in the interior from him being able to space the floor with his 3-point shooting. The space created in the interior can be used to drive to the basket for easy points, or can be used to make the defense collapse. Once this happens, Bane can use this to his advantage to find open teammates on the exterior. So unfortunately, Bane suffered an injury in the season, but he was able to recover and come back. That kind of hindered his points. He was averaging close to 24 points, but when he came back, he didn't miss a beat. When he came back, he didn't miss a beat, but it definitely took some time for him to readjust to the speed of the NBA again and readjust to things. But now he's back in full flow, and he'll definitely be needed, as the team has lost a few players recently. He'll definitely be needed so that they can maintain their position in the Western Conference. My final player in the NBA redraft of 2020 is Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey has built a reputation in Philadelphia as one of the anchors of the team alongside Joel Embiid and James Harden. He has been a consistent threat from 3-point range in his career. This season, he's shooting 40.9% from 3-point range. In his career, he's averaging 40% from beyond the arc, which showcases his consistency early on in his career. Maxey was averaging before his injury 22.9 points, 4.4 assists, and 3.5 rebounds, and 1 steal per game. He was having career highs in many of these statistical categories, and these stats were also helping Philadelphia to compete in the Eastern Conference. And it was unfortunate to see him go down, but he has since come back. He's playing a role off the bench for the team. That's what they need at this moment in time. Before, he was starting a majority of the games, but he has adjusted well. He's a player that can quickly adapt, a humble player that can do what the team needs him to do, and that has resulted in wins for the Philadelphia 76ers, who recently beat the Milwaukee Bucks to end their winning streak, which showed that they're serious this year in competing for an NBA championship. So we're just going to have to wait and see for that. Thank you for listening to my NBA redraft. These are the players that I feel that have performed since being drafted. I only had 5 spots, so some players may have narrowly missed out on being selected in my NBA redraft. But hopefully you'll find this basketball video interesting and have gained some knowledge of basketball through this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more content.